Okay, good evening, and thank you all so much for your patience. This has been an interesting experience getting all these Zoom meetings set up. My name is Kristie Powe. I'm a board member for the group for Frankfort, which is focused on race relations Frankfort. The purpose of our organization is to encourage open and honest communication and conversations about race and race-related issues in Frankfort and Franklin County. So we greatly appreciate your participation in this candidate forum, because that's, we're asking questions that our group in the community wants some answers to. There's no wrong answers. It's very informal, so please feel free. I'll give each of you 90 seconds to answer the questions, and I'll give you a minute to introduce yourselves, starting with Diane.
My name is Diane Strong. I am running for City Commissioner in Frankfort. I'm fairly new to Frankfort. I've been here for 2.5 years. I moved to Kentucky 20 years ago, and I've been visiting Frankfort for 20 years. So I've got to watch it as it has not so much grown, but evolved. And I like to tell people that I come with fresh eyes, and I don't come with biases or preconceived notions about what doesn't work here or what the way we don't do things. I come with excitement and energy to get things done, and I'm really honored to be here. I am so thankful that you redid this forum. I know it was canceled when all of this started happening. I reached out to you guys. I don't know if you got the message asking if we could please do this forum or have a roundtable, because we need this more than ever right now. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And Leesa, you are up.
Yeah, I'd like to, thank you for having me. It's definitely been an interesting campaign. It's important for us to be able to, get our thoughts out here to the community. So, I was really looking forward to knocking on doors in the community and meeting citizens of Frankfort that I don't really know. So it's important that we're doing this. For those that don't know me, my name's Leesa Unger. I grew up on Shelby Street. I graduated from Frankfort High School and then attended Berea College, where I graduated, and then moved back to Frankfort and was ready to start investing in my community. So, I immediately joined a few different boards. DFI was one of them, and then I sort of settled into my role as the president of the Frankfort Striders Club and treasurer of Walk Bike Frankfort. And basically, I just, I feel like in everything I try to do with the community, it's about lifting people up. So I'm really excited about the possibility of your next city commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, as you guys can hear, that's the timer that I've got set, and that just gives you a little idea that you've reached your time. So we'll start with our first question this evening, and it's going to start with Diane. How would you define systemic racism, and do you believe this is a problem in Frankfort and Franklin County?
I guess systemic racism is the policies and procedures and situations that that our community and country has in place, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, that has made it difficult for people of color in every walk of life. I think the question was, how would I deal with it?
No, do you believe that this is a problem in Frankfort and Franklin County?
I believe it's a problem everywhere. To what degree it is in Frankfort, I like to believe it's not as bad, but I mean, who am I to say? I'm not the one who's affected. I'm a white girl, and so that's what I'm ready to find out.
Okay, thank you so much. And same question, Leesa, and is it Leesa? Just Leesa or Leesa? Leesa, okay. How would you define systemic racism, and do you believe this is a problem in Frankfort and Franklin County?
Systemic racism is basically generations of people of color that haven't had the same rights, the same privileges, and then it's so hard. I don't want to, say anything wrong.
No wrong answers. No wrong.
Just being, well, and it's hard because, I know my white privilege. And so I just want to show the community that I can be an ally. And I know that this is a problem, not just in Frankfort, but everywhere. So, yeah, there's issues. And one thing that sort of why I'm running for city commission, and one thing I try to push is, I would like to see more women in leadership positions, as well as more people of color. So I'm sort of here to help, lift up friends, and it's definitely an issue everywhere. So do what I can to help out.
Thank you so much. All right, next question, and we'll start with you, Leesa. How do you plan to improve the relationship between Frankfort and Kentucky State University?
I know this is a topic that always comes up, and I don't know why it's still an issue, because Frankfort just has this university at the top of the hill, and you don't see the engagement that needs to happen. I know that there are groups that are doing really good things with K-State and trying to bring community members and getting people involved. I'm open to anything. I was actually surprised to hear that there's an internship with the police department with K-State right now. I saw that in the paper recently when they were talking about statistics. Yeah, keeping more programs, inviting the community to meet with students. We need to just keep communication open.
Okay, thank you so much. And Diane, I'll ask you the same question. How do you plan to improve the relationship between Frankfort and Kentucky State University?
Wow, Kentucky State University it's a gem in Frankfort, and it's an untapped asset for everybody. And when I moved here, it was one of the reasons I moved here. And I was dumbfounded why we don't take more advantage and have more of those students here. So I'm the director of Urban on the Banks this year, and our scholarships, we're giving some of our profit for scholarships for the distillery program and for the band. But I don't see why we can't take our students and just not have interns with the police department, but with GFI or KCDC or some of the businesses, really utilize those students. Because when you intern for a business downtown or within the city or with the police department, you're much more likely to get hired and then stay in the community. And what do we want more than anything right now is for our youth to stay here in Frankfort and not go away. We want them to stay here and have families here and have their children go to K-State. So I think there's a lot of really exciting things we can do, but we need to incorporate the students into our city, and so we can see them and they can be a part of us and work with us and just, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And last question, and we'll start with Diane again. What specific steps will you take to ensure racial equality in Frankfort and Franklin County?
Well, I think the biggest thing to enact change is to acknowledge that there's a problem. And when you have a problem, there are steps that you take to solve that problem. So we need to build trust in the community with our police officers. We need to make sure that we have our facts out on the table. The numbers, the disproportionate numbers of whether it's the health or it's the education or it's the criminal system, we need to face those numbers, acknowledge them, and then we need to listen to each other. And not just, I talked to some guys holding the Confederate flag in front of our Capitol the other day who were protesting the removal of the statue. And it's hard because I don't agree with them, but I know that going forward, we need to understand everybody's perspective and understand how they think so that we can try to get through to them. But you have to lead and you have to be vocal, and as a leader, it's more important than anything that I'm vocal to my community about the importance of that. And if there's bad policies in place, we need to change the policy. And you know, and also I know our police department, we've got the cameras, and we they do. Oops, sorry.
That's
Is that
okay.
my timer?
Yes, it was. That's okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Lisa, the same question. What specific steps will you take to ensure racial equality in Frankfort and Franklin County?
I think one of the really big things for me is just listening to who we need to listen to, and figuring out, you know, how we need to change city policies, which policies we need to change. As long as our city is taking like swift and decisive action, if there was something to go wrong, or if we had something in Frankfort that happened like with Breonna Taylor, as long as swift and decisive action, just like our governor did, taking down the Jefferson Davis statue that came down in a week. We just need to be ready to take care of our community. I definitely think we need to really push training with our police officers, de-escalation training. I would like to see, I know there was a very big push for officers on bikes. We even have or had segways. I feel like we really need police officers on the street more, maybe focusing on very specific neighborhoods so they get to know the community face-to-face, one-on-one, and really building relationships. So there's a lot to be said about the police officers really making those community engagements. So.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'd like to give both of you some time to give a closing in your platform. I believe we started with Diane, so this time we'll start with Leesa.
Okay. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you, Kristie, and for doing this. My name is Leesa, and I'm here because I love Frankfort, and I want to be one of your next city commissioners. So I believe our citizens deserve the best, and I hope that I can be there for everybody. So I'm confident that I have what it takes to lead change. I plan to be a good listener, patient, reasonable, and respectful, and I'm ready to be. And like I said earlier, I'm ready for our leadership to look more like our community. That includes more people of color, that includes more women represented, because we need to be making decisions in our town, in our city. So as an active Frankfort local, a lot of people probably see me running around, jogging around town with my kids. My family means the world to me, and I want them to know that I did my all to make their future better. But I also know that we need to take care of our own community before we can really attract others that want to move to Frankfort and open business here. And you know, I'm the president of Frankfort Striders, and being on the Walk Bike Frankfort board, for me, Frankfort would be even better if we have safe public spaces for our community, because our environment makes a huge impact on all of our lives. So I want to help create a Frankfort with better amenities, parks, sidewalks, safer routes to school, and among all those things, you know, better city services. So I think it's time that we take pride in our community and keep communication open with all of our citizens and stay focused on our assets, like we were talking about K-State, and let's just all remain positive. So I consider myself a very compassionate person, and I'm ready to help make positive change in Frankfort. So let me be a voice for you and your family.
Thank you so much, and we'll end
with
that.
Oh, am I going?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Well, thank you again for having me. You know, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I will claim to always be looking for answers. And I will do whatever it takes to bring our community together and have the hard conversations. You know, Frankfort it's such a gem. We have so many assets here. K-State, one of them, obviously, and the river and the beauty and the people. And, you know, I've lived in a lot of places, and I've never felt such a sense of community and compassion. So I know Frankfort as a town, I think we all really want what's best for each other and best for our little city. And I'm willing to represent the people, every person, whatever color they are, whatever sexuality they have, whatever their background is. I represent everyone. And I look forward to a Frankfort where we have a trail that goes up to K-State, so you don't have to take that scary road to come down and visit downtown. I look forward to the connectivity of all of our trails and the riverfront. I look forward to making Frankfort more business developer, investor friendly, so that people want to bring their money here and fix up our beautiful old houses and bring in young families and keep our families from leaving. I'm excited about our future. I think we've got a lot going on here, and if we play our cards right and get the right leadership in there, we're going to be going places, and I'm hoping to be part of that.
Well, on behalf of FOR, I just want to thank you both so much for having the courage to participate. These are difficult conversations, which is why we need to have them. We need to make uncomfortable conversations comfortable for everyone. And it does take a lot of courage for you to agree to have these conversations for the community to hear. So we appreciate you so much. Thank you again. And you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Bye-bye.